Welcome to a new crochet business report video. In this video, I am gonna wrap up 2023 and share with you all the numbers, including pattern releases, sales, expenses, as well as salary. If you are new here, welcome. I am Veronica. I am a full-time amigurumi designer based in Finland. On this channel, I share amigurumi tutorials as well as behind the scenes of my crochet business. If you like content like this, I highly recommend you to come and join the crew by subscribing to the channel. And if you are one of my regular followers, welcome back. You know that I love numbers, statistics, and a good pie chart. So with no further ado, let's jump into the business report. Welcome to the Garnknuten business report of 2023. If you haven't already, go and grab yourself a cup of tea or something else cozy to drink, because this might be a long one. A crochet project might also be very handy. You can watch this as a video, but you can also listen to this as a podcast format. So let's start with content and product creation, because content and product creation are related to everything else that is happening in my business. The more I produce, the more I market myself on YouTube and Instagram, the more I will sell and the more revenue my business will get. So that is why we are starting from here. I managed to design 23 new amigurumi patterns this year, which is quite a lot for me. Last year or the year before, I designed 18. So it is 4 more this year than I did previously year. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. I think I'm gonna try to design the same amount during 2024 as well. I come up to that pretty quickly because the amigurumi calendar is also included in this, which is 12 smaller amigurumis. But still, I think I'm really proud of myself for releasing this many patterns this year. I have also hosted 4 crochet alongs and participated in one collaborative crochet along over Instagram with a couple of other amigurumi designers. They are always so fun to participate in, and I hope in the near future that I could host my own collaborative amigurumi crochet along with other designers. But we will see what the year brings. This year, I will also at least have 4 crochet alongs inside of the Happy Amigurumi Club. I have done 42 YouTube videos. The goal was 52, so one YouTube video for each week. I didn't really come up to this, probably because some month and some weeks is just very hard to publish something if there are other bigger projects. I didn't achieve this goal. Some weeks it's just really hard to squeeze in a YouTube video if there is a lot of other bigger projects going on. I hope this year that I am gonna try to be a little bit more prepared. For example, when I go on vacation, that I would be able to pre-record videos. I also need to maybe redo my system a little bit and mix in easier, quicker videos with longer and more advanced editing wise videos and filming wise, because different videos take different times. So for example, the studio vlogs, the editing process takes a while to do, whether for me a crochet tutorial, the filming might take a while because of the crocheting, and we can't speed up that process, unfortunately. But the editing is pretty quick for me when it comes to the crochet tutorials and videos like this, like sit down talking to you videos. So there might be more of those coming next year. Then we have 22 live streams. This includes live streams hosted inside of the Happy Amigurumi Club, but also webinars hosted during the Amigurumi Design Lab launches, for example, and just other in general live streams. I really like hosting live streams, and just especially the ones in the Happy Amigurumi where we have this crochet and chat live streams each month, where we just sit down for an hour, chat about stuff, and then give ourselves some permission to actually crochet for an hour. And I've been really liking them. I might start doing more live streams over on my YouTube channel that is not for club members only. I just need some suggestions on what to talk about. Should it be like a crochet podcast thingy, or Q&A, or business tips? I don't know. Let me know if you have any ideas, because live streams they're fun. I like them. This year I have been doing 59 short form videos. I'm very proud of myself for this number. I hope that it's gonna grow as we go into this year as well, because I really like short form video content. The only thing that is my issue is that I have such a hard time finding the time during a week to film them and edit them. And I know if you want something badly enough, you find a time for it. But yeah, I need to make some kind of strategy for my short videos as well. In September, I did a challenge for myself to make one reel a day for a month. And I think I did it, if I remember correctly. During December, I made 24 reels, so for one reel up until Christmas. And I think that is the main bulk of my reel content. So this year, I'm gonna try and space it out a little bit more than just having these monthly challenges for myself. I have published 135 Instagram posts. Instagram is my main social media marketing platform right now, besides YouTube. So that is why I include those numbers and want to keep track on how much content I make for them. I have published 15 blog posts. This is also something that I want to work more on this year, and work on especially making good SEO content for the blog as well. That is going to be something for my new marketing strategy that I'm trying to build up. I have a couple of blog posts that is doing really well and is very high ranking on Google. For example, my strawberry pattern. I get a lot of views daily from that one, but I would like to have at least 2-3 more of that kind of content so that it would grow even more and get even more views on the web shop and on the blog, because that will generate to email subscribers and eventually also customers. Last year, I also launched my course 2 times. I will do the same at least this year as well. Currently, we have a new class going on now in February, and I will probably launch it again before summer, I think. I've also been thinking about moving my course from, it's currently hosted on Podia, but it is a very expensive platform. So I'm going to try and move it to my Shopify so that everything would be there as well. I'm very excited about that. But I'm paying for Podia until July. So this will be the autumn project, I guess. So, new patterns of 2023. I made a list if you are curious on which designs are new for the year. We started off with Nanook the polar bear. I think I released it in January or February. Then we had Tom the tiger as the April crochet along, Runa the raccoon, which was the amigurumi inside of the collaborative crochet along woodland spring call. This was hosted in March, maybe. Then I have some exclusive patterns for the Happy Amigurumi Club that I have designed. We have Happy the Monkey, Ted the Turtle. I hosted a July crochet along inside of the club where we made Emerald the Dragon. During August, I designed 12 space themed amigurumi for the Amigurumi calendar of 2024. Then I made a banana hat for Happy the Monkey. We also explored a new design during October inside of the club. We did Vinona the Witch. This was my very first doll design, like human doll design. I have previously only done amigurumi animals before, and I got a little bit hooked, if I'm honest. There might be more human-ish like dolls in the future. In October, I also released my Ghost Buddies pattern. I really love that one. It is so cute and so adorable. In December, we made together Dexter the dog inside of the club as the December crochet along. And during last year, I also managed to publish one new free pattern on my blog that have been on my to-do list for so long, and it was the cinnamon bun pattern. So there we have the entire list of new patterns in 2023. The pattern library is growing rapidly. I am very certain that I will go over 100 patterns, published patterns during 2024, which is crazy. One of my goals for this upcoming year is to add all the patterns, because currently the only place where you find all my patterns in the same place is Ravelry. Ravelry. How hard can it be? Because there you can add both free and paid patterns. My goal for this year is to add the free patterns as PDF versions to my web shops for just a couple of euros as well, so that I would have all of my patterns in my pattern shop. That would be amazing to just have everything under the same roof and inside the shop. The other thing I'm working on pattern-wise this year is to add them to Ribbler. Ribbler is kind of like Ravelry, but a little bit easier to work with, and also not only made for knitters and crocheters, but also they have sewing patterns as well as embroidery. But the fun thing with Ribbler is, if I remember correctly, they started off with crochet patterns and mainly amigurumi. So there is a big amigurumi fan base there. And yeah, my shop on Ribbler have been growing pretty fast during this 4 weeks that I've been there. So I hope that, yeah, I'm gonna do my best to add one new pattern to Ribbler per week until my entire library is also available there. I'm also working on my Etsy shop to add the missing patterns from there. So at the end of the year, I hope I will have all my patterns on Ribbler, Ravelry, Etsy, and of course my own web shop. You might not be hearing a lot of me like talking about these other platforms, because my main selling platform is of course my Shopify web shop, because I get the biggest chunk of revenue from there. The other platforms have a small fee for depending on how much you sell, of course. So, but yeah, let me know if you want to know more about my pattern plans and my different pattern shops and my pattern strategy, I guess. Okay, let's move to social media growth this year. I have only added my email list, YouTube, and Instagram on this slide just because these are my main marketing channels at this current moment. So it is them that I want to keep most track of. I used to have a Facebook page here and my Facebook group here as well. I don't really care a lot about how those are growing currently because I don't get that much of sales from Facebook. So I've cut everything down to these three. So my email list have grown a little bit. I had 10,868 subscribers at the beginning of the month and 11,020 at the end. During this year, I have been pruning my list, which you should do, but I should probably do it very soon again as well. With pruning, I mean that you delete all the subscribers that haven't been active during a certain period of time. I usually delete everybody who hasn't been opening an email during the past year, as well as subscribers who, yeah, exactly. YouTube is growing slowly but steadily. At the beginning of the year, I had 2,400 subscribers, and at the end, I had 3,679 subscribers. I hope that at some point this will start growing even faster, but I'm very happy that the green arrows are uh, present on my YouTube statistics. My Instagram though feels like it's more dying than growing, but I'm happy to see that it actually is growing because I thought that I had lost more followers than gained during last year. Started off with 10,800 and ended up with 11,600. So, yeah, I would love to grow my Instagram even more. That is also why I have been including reels into my strategy lately. Um, but we will see. I'm also not stressing about the numbers too much. And if you have a business, I highly recommend to not stress about them too, because it is very hard to impact. The thing you can impact is how much content you provide for your community and how many patterns you release. So that is also why I started off with sharing how many YouTube videos I have made, because that is something that I personally can decide and have an impact on. But I have very little impact on how many people are subscribing to my YouTube channel. Of course, there are stuff that you can do, but at the end, uh, making valuable content for your community, that is what will move your business forward. Not getting stuck on numbers. Saying someone that loves numbers and statistics. But you know what I mean. Okay, let's move to a very fun slide, which is the income. I have added a graph here if you're curious about how it has fluctuated. I wonder if that is a proper English word, but changed during the year. As you can see, we have some lower month. January was really slow last year. This year, it has not been slow, but it also depends on when I launched the Amigurumi Design Lab. So last year I launched it in February, which means the spikes are in February. And this year I did it in January, which means there will be a spike in January for me this year. In October, I sold several amigurumi kits to museums, local museums. So that is why there is a spike there as well. November was also pretty high because of the Finnish craft and design market. And March was probably high because of the upcoming April crochet along, as well as some invoices that got paid that month as well. But as you can see, the second half of the year is better and more like stable than the first half of the year. Also, something to note is that this was the first entire like year I worked with my business full time. So the year before, it was only like for half a year, but this was the first like I was self-employed from January to December. So I did a lot of figuring out during last year and finding my own work routine and just a balance and figuring out what I want to do. It's been a lot of like figuring out during last year. The total income during 2023 was 17,494 and 7 cents. After VAT, because I am based in Finland, so we have to, for each product we sell, we need to pay 24% to the government. After the VAT, there was 14,108 left, and the total VAT that I have been paying to my government or the Finnish nation, I don't know, is 3,385 and 95 cents. The fun thing this year is that I had a 75% increase of revenue from 2022. 2022, I had a revenue of about 10,000, and this year it was about 17,500. So it is growing, and that makes me so excited. There is someone that said something about the lines of a business can only grow or die. That's the only two options. There is no like middle ground. So I'm happy that my business isn't dying. It is growing, and it's growing with a good pace. So I hope that my goal is to 2024. My revenue goal is 40K. Oh yes, I am saying it here to keep myself accountable. 40K. I would love to at least double the income from this year and add a little bit on top of that as well. Then we have this is also very needed. You know, I like a good pie chart. So let's go through my income streams. And this is something I want to talk more about because I currently feel like I have too many things to handle and I need to scale down and I need to figure out what to kill, which products to kill, and which products and services to focus more on. My top one income stream during 2023 was digital courses and workshops. I love teaching. If you have been following me for a while, you know that I have a background in craft, as a craft teacher, as well as a degree in business. And I love to combine these two. I love teaching, and I would love to expand and sell more digital courses during this year, as well as separate workshops on both amigurumi and crocheting and designing, but also maybe some business related things. I also have in mind a beginner amigurumi course. As you know, I have or maybe some of you know, for some of you this is new information, but I have a amigurumi design course called the Amigurumi Design Lab, and I really love hosting that course. But I feel like I need something more. I feel like I need another course, and I would love to add a beginner course to my course um, list. So we will see um, if that works itself out. I'm a little bit like, my community isn't really beginners anymore. So I need to set up a good strategy on how to market a beginner's course and how to find beginner amigurumi crocheters somewhere. Um, or just crocheters that want to learn, or just people that want to. I mean, it's even people before the stage that people who want to learn how to crochet amigurumi. So I need to figure that out. But I really like digital courses. It is a lot of work when you make them, but afterwards you have everything. And yeah, I like digital products a lot, and we're going to talk a lot about that. The second biggest income stream for me this year, well, last year, was my Happy Amigurumi Club that I opened in July, in June, but we started in July. It is, to be honest, the best thing I have ever done. The community is so positive and encouraging and positive. I said positive already. Inspiring. I really love it so, so much. And I want to evolve it even more this year and build upon it. I would love to make a club room over on my website, so somehow with a secret shop, and where you also could find all the crochet and chat replays, for example. Currently, it's hosted. You get all the information to your email, and the community section is hosted on Facebook and Discord. I really like Discord. I do not like Facebook. I hope this video isn't getting canceled now that I say that. But it is very hard to find stuff in a Facebook group. So I would like to create a hub over on my website where you could just find all the information, all the live streams, all the links, all the discount codes, just everything in one place. I think I will still keep the Facebook group, and just because I know that there are people that want to use Facebook instead of Discord, and that is totally fine. So I think I might keep both of them, but engage more on Discord and the website hub space. But yeah, we will see how that evolves as well. The third and the fourth biggest have been yarn and yarn kit sales. I've been selling yarn separately as skeins, as well as yarn kits to B2B, B2C, which means business to customer. I have sold about 79. This is both yarn and like yarn orders together combined. 2,609 euros, and the B2B, which means business to business, which is mostly my yarn kits for the museums. I've sold 60 kits with that combined into 1,793. This is a big chunk of money that I'm very scared of letting go of. I can make a whole other episode about this, but I need to prune somewhere in my business. And I've been thinking about this last year. At the beginning of the year, I said to myself, this year I'm gonna see how it goes with my yarn kits. And after that, I'm gonna decide if it's worth doing them or not. The crazy thing is that, yes, it is a big chunk of money, and that is why I have such a hard time to just let my yarn kits go. But if you see, like, revenue wise, or the chunk that actually goes to my business that isn't expenses, it is much smaller than for my digital products, as the patterns, the clubs, and the courses. It is also a lot of work to pack them, send them out, being nervous if they are going to arrive in time or not. And I also struggle a lot with the shipping, because my shipping provider right now is pretty expensive because I'm sending so few packages each month, which means that I'm paying a part of the shipping from my own pocket. I calculated, and last year it was 1,000 euros. I paid from my own pocket 1,000 euros for the shipping. And this is not, it is not, it is not working. It is not working. I really love making the yarn kits. I would love to have them in my shop, but right now it is a bit complicated. So I need to talk a little bit about this with my mentor. I hope that she will have some thoughts for me and we can look it up over together. But yeah, I've been thinking about a lot about these physical products and if I should have them or if I should just go entirely digital. I would save a lot of time and have more time for example, pattern designing if I would uh, quit the yarn kits. The question is, would I get so much time to design more patterns that it would bring in at least the same amount of my yarn kits if I would quit the yarn kits? It is such a struggle, and I'm so scared of letting them go just because I know that they bring in money, but then mm, it is very scary. The fifth category that was my biggest income stream was digital crochet patterns. And I hope that I would grow this during 2024. I want to sell more patterns. That's that's where my entire business started, or actually not. I started by crocheting finished toys for people, but it's been the core of my business from the very very start, and I really love it. I love the fact that you design something once, you write down the pattern, and then you can sell it for as long as possible to how many customers as possible. And it's the same amount of work. So it's so scalable. And the yarn kits isn't scalable, to be honest, because we live in a very small apartment. It is 45 square meters. I have a small corner um, with a desk, and I don't have a big storage unit for a lot of yarn and boxes and stuffing. Currently, we have a big stuffing bag in our bedroom, and it's just always in the way. And that is also maybe why I've been thinking about that so much. Because currently, my yarn kits, if I want to actually grow the yarn kit part, I need to invest a lot of money. And I think I would like to focus more on the club, patterns, and digital courses instead. Did I just solve my own problem by just saying them out loud? This is why I love to walk through last year and sum it up, because you you get so much clearer on your thoughts and also just talking about them. Even though I'm currently sitting in front of camera but still talking openly about it, it just makes everything makes more sense. Okay, let's move from income to expenses. So, this is how it looks like. As you can see, if we compare the income with the expenses, the second half of the year is crazy in both sense. So both for income and expenses. And that is totally normal. The more income you will have, the more expenses you will usually also have. Most of the expenses during this year is inventory. I bought a lot of yarn as well as the amigurumi calendar for the market, the Finnish craft and design market that I participated in November. So there was a lot of expenses around that market. I have a lot of stock left that I need to try and sell. I will have this big of I will not buy this much inventory this year. Last year I spent 3,740 euros on inventory, which includes the yarn for yarn kits as well as project bags and Amigurumi calendar of 2024. This upcoming year I have a lot of inventory left, which means I don't need to buy that much inventory, which is a good thing. I will also probably not, at this point at least, make a physical calendar this upcoming year. I will make a digital printable calendar because it's expensive to print, and you need to print a certain amount of calendars and then you need to sell. And at this point, I have calendars still in my stock, which is kind of unusable, which is just money in the ditch. So yeah, I'm gonna rethink a little bit about the Amigurumi calendar and probably make a printable version. That also is the good thing with that is that my biggest community is in USA, Australia, and Canada, and it's very expensive to ship to those countries from Finland. So a printable calendar is also good for my customers because they don't have to pay anything for the shipping. I can also sell them for less than the physical calendars. So I think it's a win-win situation. Another expense for a new expense for this year is that I have a bookkeeper now. And I'm so happy. It's been worth every euro. I also have a bookkeeping program where I put all the receipts and everything that she needs for the bookkeeping. And it's been a lifesaver. I can sleep well during the nights. I've done my bookkeeping myself previous years and I don't hate it. I love numbers. But to get everything, when you find something that doesn't match and you can't find where, if it's an expense missing, if it can be very annoying and take a lot of time. So I'm happy that I could outsource this year. It has definitely paid itself back in time where I can focus on designing instead. So total expensive for the entire year was 11,863 and 74 euros. This is not salary included. Let me talk about salary. So the second pie chart of this video. Salary, I paid myself this year 6,000 euros. It was about a third of the total income for my business. The other bigger expenses was inventory, shipping, even though my customers paid for the biggest part of the shipping, which I mean, it should be that way, but I had miscalculated stuff. So I also ended up paying from my own pocket. Apps and programs is about 1,300 euros, bookkeeping 1,188, websites and domains 785 euros. Not any like big surprises, only the inventory part. I wasn't really prepared that it would be that much because usually I don't spend that much money on inventory because my main products are digital and they don't require yarn, or I mean a bit yarn for like designing, but that it's very very small amount. And of course the shipping. Yeah, that's a story. So yeah, that's how it looked like last year. The upcoming year, I know that my salary will be a little bit less because I've been reading Profit First and I'm gonna implement it during this year. Last year I took out way too much salary at the beginning, and now I'm taking a certain percentage of my revenue each month instead of a certain amount that I did last year. And I think that this is a great system for me, at least. I can increase the salary for each quarter instead of just looking at my bank account and be like, oh, there is 1,500 extra money on my bank account. Let's take it out. Because that money might not be yours. It might be tax money or VAT money or invoice money. So, yeah, I've been redoing a little bit how I'm paying myself and how I'm calculating how big of a chunk is actually going to expenses, for example. Let me know if you would like a total separate video about how I implement profit first into my crochet business. I could do that. Another thing I would like to increase this year is courses and mentoring. And I have already kind of done that because I have a mentor right now for 3 months. And it's a mentor program where I get one-on-one mentoring, but as well as group mentoring. And I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited to have someone who also have a creative business. My mentor has a creative business focusing on calligraphy, and she also has her own courses, and she also have written a book, so she has a lot of knowledge, and I'm really excited to have someone to push me into my uncomfortable zones. Because I feel this year to grow, I need to do a little bit uncomfortable things this year to push myself. But yeah, I didn't spend that much on ads this year. It was a couple of €100. If I remember correctly, the year before that was more. I will continue doing Facebook ads, but I will do them better this year. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that was about it about expenses. And let's end up with some highlights of the year. I did my second amigurumi calendar, which has a space theme. I'm very happy how it turned out. I think it looks so cute. And I learned a lot during these 2 years with the calendars. And things will change this year, but I don't think it will go away entirely because I like the concept. I just need to figure out how to make it more profitable. I designed 23 new amigurumi designs. I got accepted to the Finnish Craft and Design Fair. I made my entire booth. It looked amazing. I am so happy with how it turned up. I am so happy about everybody that I got to know during the craft fair and everybody that I got to meet. It was a lot of fun. I don't think I will do it again in the near future. The booth that I had was paid by Taito. So I didn't have to pay for the booth. The booth value was over €900, and I can't afford to do that at this stage in my business. Maybe in the future, I would love to go to the fairs and hold workshops, maybe instead of selling finished products. But yeah, we will see. At this point in my business, I can't really afford these bigger craft fairs. I mean, there are smaller, of course, but that means also less customers. So I think that was a very nice experience. I'm very happy that I got to do it, but I will probably not do it in a near future. I also got to make yarn kits for 3 different local museums. I was so happy when they contacted me and wanted a yarn kit for a Runebergin torto. I would love to make more yarn kits for museums as well as for craft shops here in Finland. It's nice to pack one kind of kit and make it in bulk. It's very satisfying in my opinion, and the shipping is so much easier to a Finnish local store than shipping it to 15 different countries around the world. So yeah, I hope I get to do more yarn kits this year. This is so confusing. I've been talking about yarn kits, but yarn kits for museums. I could keep that and maybe, or then I just need to cut everything. Oh, as you can see, I don't know still what to do with the yarn kits. We will see what the universe has in plan for my yarn kits. For now, I'm just gonna leave them. I also opened the Happy Amigurumi Club. This is, as I said before, one of the best things I've done during inside of my business, like ever. I kind of wish I did it earlier, but better late than never. And I hope it will grow. I'm gonna do my best to provide my members with great new patterns as well as crochet alongs and workshops and some designer guests as well have we booked in for 2024. So I'm very excited about evolving and growing the club. We also moved last year, which is something that I kind of have forgotten that it was a pretty big deal because we lived in a 3-room apartment before on the top floor. I had my own studio, but because we lived in an apartment that I got because I worked as a teacher and because I didn't work as a teacher anymore, we had to move. There was also a leaking roof in that apartment, which also contributed to our moving decision. But we moved to a much smaller apartment that only has 2 rooms, so a bedroom and a living room / kitchen. And it's been a ride to get my whole business to work in this apartment. I have my little cozy table, my little cozy corner, and I like it a lot. But to be honest, I really miss my studio. It was so nice to just have everything organized in another way. And now my inventory is like spaced out in 5 different places, and in that studio I could have everything in one room. And when the work day was over, I could just shut the door and get some space between my business and my private life. I guess. I mean, they are intertwined. It's really hard to separate those two, but yeah, it's been an adventure, and I do feel right now that I'm comfortable with how it is right now. I'm very excited for spring because we have a outdoor patio. So when spring and summer comes, it feels like we get a second room outside as well. But yeah, there's been some changes, and I'm really excited for 2024 and everything it will bring. I have some goals, and you have heard some of them. Do you want a goal specific video? Let me know. I haven't really decided if this is enough or if you want more insights. Maybe I could also do a studio vlog and talk about my goals inside of the studio vlog as well. But yeah, I feel like my business is a bit in a changing zone right now, and I've had time to try a lot of different things, and I'm very grateful for that. But we are at a point right now where I need to figure out what I'm actually gonna do inside of my business. I hope that you enjoyed this chatty business report video. If you haven't seen my last year's business report video for 2022, you might want to go and take a peek and compare my stats to this one. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!